We all remember Miror B, the eccentric, disco-grooving villain who stole the show in Pokemon Colosseum and XD. But today, he's leaving the dance floor behind to take on his biggest challenge yet. Can Miror B conquer the Pokemon League and become champion? Let's find out! Our journey begins with Professor Birch asking whether we're a boy or a girl. Professor, we're Miror B. Moments later, we find Birch being chased by Poochyena, and he desperately asks us to grab a Pokeball from his bag. Inside one of them is the perfect partner for Miror B, his signature Sudowoodo. One rock throw is enough to send Poochyena packing, and as thanks for saving his life, Birch lets us keep Sudowoodo. Just like that, Team Miror is officially back in business. And it doesn't take long for Miror B to start rebuilding his legendary dance troupe. We soon encounter not one, not two, but 3 Lotad, and naturally, we catch every single one. They may not be Ludicolo just yet, but the team is already starting to take shape. We race through Petalburg Woods and begin preparing for our first real challenge. Along the way, all 3 of our Lotad evolve into Lombre, bringing them one step closer to their final fabulous forms. And with that, Team Miror is ready to take on our first gym leader, Roxanne. Against Roxanne, we deploy the tried and true suck method. Send in Lombre and spam absorb until there's nothing left. Geodude goes down, Nosepass follows shortly afterwards, and neither of them can do anything to stop us. The first gym badge belongs to Miror B. With our first badge secured, we make our way into Rusturf Tunnel, where we encounter and catch a Whismur, the loud member of Team Miror. There's no time to waste though. With Whismur added to the lineup, we head straight for Juford Town and our second gym leader, Brawly. This fight proves to be much tougher. We lead with our newly acquired Whismur, who is immediately flattened by a Karate Chop from Machop. Sudowoodo steps up next, only to suffer the exact same fate. Another massive chop, another team member down. Our first Lombre is next to face the Chop Master, and unsurprisingly, it falls too. Luckily, we still have 2 more. Unfortunately, Lombre number 2 also receives a one-way ticket to Chop City. That leaves our third and final Lombre as the only thing standing between us and a defeat. It survives long enough to fire off an absorb, finally bringing Machop's chopping spree to an end. Brawly sends out Makuhita, but our last Lombre isn't finished yet. We repeatedly use Astonish, securing multiple flinches and slowly wearing its health down. Once Makuhita is weak enough, one final absorb seals the victory. It was far closer than we would have liked, but Miror B survives and the Knuckle Badge is ours. After barely surviving Brawly, it's clear that Team Miror needs an upgrade. Whismur evolves into Loudred, giving the team some much needed extra power and considerably more volume. Next we head to the Morville Game Corner and spend our hard-earned cash on a few useful TMs. With the team upgraded and our wallets significantly lighter, we head straight for Watson and our third gym badge. We lead with our newly evolved Loudred, and its first flamethrower completely incinerates Magnemite in a single hit. So far so good. Watson responds with Voltorb, which uses self-destruct, taking Loudred down with it. Just like that, our brilliant strategy of burning absolutely everything is gone. We send in Lombre against Watson's final Pokemon, Magneton, but it's quickly shocked into submission. That leaves Sudowoodo to save the battle. One massive, super effective, critical hit low kick sends Magneton crashing to the ground, and against all expectations, Sudowoodo pulls through, and the Dynamo Badge belongs to Miror B. Our journey eventually takes us to the top of Mount Chimney, where we come face to face with Team Magma's leader, Maxie. Normally, this is where the hero would become involved in the ongoing battle between Team Magma and Team Aqua, but we're Miror B, and frankly, their little feud has absolutely nothing to do with us. So, we leave them to their shenanigans and head straight towards Lavaridge Town, where our 4th gym leader, Flannery, is waiting. The battle gets off to a rough start as Flannery's Slugma immediately takes down our first Lombre with Overheat. We send out Sudowoodo next and quickly discover that this gym was practically made for him. One Rock Slide knocks out the first Slugma. Flannery sends in a second Slugma only for another Rock Slide to deal with it in exactly the same way. And finally Torkoal enters the battle and receives, you guessed it, another rock slide for an easy knockout. Sudowoodo sweeps Flannery's entire team, and just like that, the heat badge is ours. From here, we make a quick detour into the desert and collect the claw fossil. Wasting no time, we rush it back to the Devon Corporation, where one of their researchers somehow transforms this ancient lump of rock into a living anorith. With our newest team member secured, it's time to challenge our dad. Wait, Norman isn't our dad, we're Miror B. Either way, it's time to take on the 5th gym leader. We begin by repeatedly kicking Norman's first slacking with low kick until Sudowoodo eventually brings the giant down. Norman sends out his second slacking, so naturally we prepare to do it all over again. This time, however, Sudowoodo lands a massive critical hit and knocks it out with its second kick. Vigoroth is Norman's final Pokemon, and it manages to bring Sudowoodo's kicking spree to an end. Thankfully, we have a brand new team member waiting in reserve. Anorith enters the battle and delivers the finishing blow with Metal Claw, earning its first major victory and securing Miror B the balance badge. On the way to our next gym, we once again stumble across Team Magma causing trouble. But just like last time, this is absolutely none of Miror B's business. We have badges to collect and dance routines to perfect. So we leave Team Magma to it and continue straight towards Fortree City, where our 6th gym leader, Winona, awaits. We lead with Exploud, who takes out Swellow with ease using Shockwave. Pelipper receives the same shocking treatment and also falls to the loud one. Skarmory enters next and finally brings Exploud's rampage to an end with Steel Wing. We switch into Lombre, who uses Surf to wash Skarmory away. Winona's final Pokemon is Altaria, and it immediately one-shots Lombre with Aerial Ace. For some reason, I decide the obvious solution is to send out another Lombre. It instantly falls to Aerial Ace. So naturally, I send out the third Lombre. What exactly was I expecting to happen here? Unsurprisingly, it also gets destroyed by Aerial Ace. After needlessly sacrificing our entire collection of Lombre, we finally send in Sudowoodo. One rock slide finishes the job, Altaria goes down, and somehow, despite my best efforts, the feather badge is ours. Next, some old woman gives us the red orb. Why? I have absolutely no idea, but free stuff is free stuff. We then evolve Loudred into Exploud and Anorith into Armaldo, which means Miror B's final form team is almost complete. With them fully evolved and ready for action, we head straight at Tate and Liza to challenge them for our 7th badge. This is our first real taste of double battling, and we lead with Lombre and Sudowoodo. Lombre immediately starts spamming Surf, dealing super effective damage until Solrock eventually goes down. Lunatone manages to take out Sudowoodo with Psychic, so we send an Exploud to replace him. Exploud lands a massive Hyper Beam, which barely does anything. Thankfully, Lombre comes to the rescue once again, landing a critical hit Surf to finish off Lunatone. Tate and Liza are defeated, and the 7th badge is Miror B's. After this, we take a slight detour and find Groudon, but he doesn't look like much of a dancer, so we simply get out of there. We then explore an abandoned ship where we stumble upon exactly what we've been looking for, a water stone. With the stone in hand, our 3 Lombre link together and all evolve into Ludicolos. At long last, Miror B's iconic team has reached its true final form. Now only one person stands between us and the Pokemon League: Wallace. We begin the fight with Exploud, who uses Shockwave to make quick work of Love Disc. Wallace sends out Whiscash next, so we switch into Ludicolo and take it down with a single Giga Drain. Celio enters the battle, prompting us to switch straight back into Exploud, and the Shockwave strategy continues to work perfectly. Celio goes down, Seeking comes out, and another Shockwave takes care of that too. Finally, Wallace sends in Melodic. We switch back into Ludicolo, but Melodic freezes it with Ice Beam before finishing it off. With Ludicolo down, we send in Armaldo. One Metal Claw lands the final blow. Wallace is defeated, and Miror B earns his 8th and final gym badge. With all 8 gym badges in our possession, nothing stands in our way. We head straight for the Pokemon League, ready to put Miror B's final team to the ultimate test. First up is Sidney, the opening member of the Elite Four. 2 serves from Ludicolo are enough to wash away Mightyena. Absol comes out next, but it also gets swept away by the current. We switch into Exploud to deal with Cacturn, and one massive flamethrower burns it to a crisp. Sharpedo enters next and brings Exploud's run to an end with Crunch, so Ludicolo returns to drain its remaining health with Giga Drain. Shiftry is the final Pokemon, and we send in Sudowoodo to finish the job. Unfortunately, Sudowoodo gets confused and knocks itself out instead. That leaves Armaldo, who lands one huge strength to take down Shiftry and secure the victory. One Elite Four member down, 3 to go. Up next is Phoebe. We begin with Sudowoodo against Dusclops, and a feint attack is enough to take it down. Phoebe sends out her second Dusclops, so we switch into Ludicolo, but a Shadow Ball knocks it out. Sudowoodo returns only to meet the exact same fate. We try another Ludicolo next, but this one also falls to Ice Beam. Exploud finally comes out and burns Dusclops away with Flamethrower. Banette is next, and we keep the flames coming until it goes down. Sableye enters and hits Exploud with Psychic, but it's the burn left by Banette that ultimately finishes us off. Armaldo is sent in next, but another Psychic takes it down, leaving us with just one final Ludicolo. Ludicolo defeats Sableye with Ice Beam, bringing the battle down to a tense one-on-one. Phoebe's final Banette puts on a serious fight, but Ludicolo eventually connects with Dive to snatch an incredibly close victory. 2 down, 2 to go. The third member of the Elite Four is Glacia. We lead with Exploud against Glalie and melt it with Flamethrower. Celio comes out next, but a Hyper Beam is enough to take it down. A second Celio enters the battle and brings Exploud's run to an end with Blizzard. We switch into Ludicolo, who drains away to remain on health. Another Glalie is sent out, so we turn to Sudowoodo, but the tree gets frozen and falls to Ice Beam. Big strong Armaldo comes out next, and one strength is enough to put Glalie to bed. Walrein is Glacia's final Pokemon, and the continued hail eventually does enough damage to knock Armaldo out. That leaves Ludicolo, who repeatedly uses Giga Drain until Walrein has absolutely nothing left. Glacia is defeated, 3 down, only 1 to go. The final member of the Elite Four is Drake, and we begin with Ludicolo against Shelgon. One Ice Beam is all it takes to bring Shelgon down. Flygon enters next, but it suffers the exact same fate. Another Ice Beam, another instant knockout. Salamence is sent out next and finally ends Ludicolo's streak with Fly. We send in another Ludicolo, but another Fly takes that one down too. We switch tactics and try Exploud, only for Salamence to use Fly yet again and knock it out as well. With 3 members already defeated, Sudowoodo comes out to save the day. One massive rock slide topples Salamence and finally brings its rampage to an end. Drake sends out its second Flygon, so our final Ludicolo enters the battle and takes it down with Ice Beam. Altaria is Drake's last Pokemon, but one final Ice Beam delivers the finishing blow. Drake is defeated, and with that, all 4 members of the Elite Four have fallen. Only the champion remains. It's finally time to face Steven. We begin with Exploud against Skarmory, and one Flamethrower burns it to a crisp. Steven sends out Armaldo next, so we switch into Ludicolo and wash it away with a massively powerful Surf. Credilli enters the battle and dismantles Ludicolo with Sludge Bomb. We send in our second Ludicolo, who gets revenge with Ice Beam, before using another to take down Claydol too. Metagross is up next, so Exploud returns to the battlefield. One enormous Flamethrower brings down the Metal Beast, leaving Steven with just one final Pokemon, Aggron. Aggron crushes Exploud with Earthquake, so we switch into Ludicolo. It enters the battle, hits a massive Mega Drain, and removes the last of Aggron's health. And with that, Steven is defeated! After 8 gym leaders, the Elite Four, and also the champion Steven, Miror B has finally answered the question, can Miror B become Pokemon champion? Yes. Yes he can.